Hello. If you are watching this, it means that you read the title and you are thinking about working for yourself, starting your own side hustle, whatever it is. And in this economy, I don't blame you for being hesitant, right? Because jobs, they offer a lot of stability, a lot of security. But I'm here today to tell you a little bit about my journey with all of it. I'm here with Miss Lady. Say hi, lady. She said hi. Who we just spent a few hours at the park with my friend Tabitha. I feel like my time is mine and I'm able to work around it, and I feel really grateful to be where I am with my income, with my career. But this took me 2 years to build up to. So I wanted to go through the different things that you might want to consider if you are thinking about working for yourself. Because I used to be a consultant over in London. I didn't feel like I was growing fast enough, feeling fast enough. I'm someone where I really love learning, I really love gaining skills, and I just didn't feel like I had that at my job. But looking back on it, it probably would have been smarter for me to wait a little bit and build up a little bit more savings or a client base to replace my existing income. So I'm just going to walk through, let's do 5 things that you might want to consider when you start your own side hustle. So like I said, the first thing that you really are going to want to consider, which I probably didn't consider enough, is like, how are you going to survive? Like, how are you going to make sure that you're okay? Now for me, I was like 23. I was 23 or 24 when I started my own business. And so my mindset was kind of like, if not now, when? I feel like I'm going to be scared to do this when I have kids. That was some of my considerations. I was also like, I will literally sleep at my parents' house for 6 years. Like, I just want to make this work. I want to do this. And so I had those safety net options, like, and my mom and my dad, but especially my mom monetarily has been so supportive of me starting up my career. I really don't think that I could have done this without her. Another person who has been hugely, supportive in my career was my husband. When we got married, he paid my rent. Our rent for a year. And it was just like, he really helped me get off the ground with my career. So I had some things come through and some safety nets come through that really helped me get to where I am now, where I'm comfortably on goal to hit like 6 figures, but like a good 6 figures where I feel really comfortable. And that's with only working like sometimes 4 hours, sometimes 8 hours a day, but definitely not hitting breaking points. Because number 2 consideration that I want you to have is how hard it's going to be the first few years, especially if you haven't already built something up. I did go through, like, at the beginning, I was in a super masculine energy, which if you are watching my channel, you're probably a little bit into masculine, feminine energies like me. But if you don't know about them and you want to know more, let me know and I can make more videos around that. But I was literally working like 16 hours a day for like a really long stretch of time. I got screwed over a lot monetarily too in these past few years. There was so much I didn't know about business. There was so much like, mistakes that I made just trying to get experience that I burned out at different points, and I felt miserable at certain points, like, why am I doing this? So I really think you got to consider that even though the long-term reward is going to be freedom, are you actually willing to sacrifice long stretches of 16-hour days? Because the chances are, unless you want to be doing it for a really long time, or unless you're in a really good opportunity vehicle, you get really lucky, that's probably gonna be you for at least a little bit. Number 3, do you really want to start your own business and work for yourself, or would it be better for you to find a partnership? I have found that the most successful I've been in my career and the most money that I've made, which is where I'm at now, is when I learned that I was okay being number 2. Like, I don't necessarily need to have my own vision. That's not really for me. And I know some of you watching that might either be offended or be like, how can you not want to have your own vision? How can you not like care about having your own thing? The things that I care about is being able to design my own life. Like, I really want to have kids and I want to be home with my kids. I don't care so much about like my brand, my product, my vision. I just want to design my life the way I like, and I want to be doing things that I enjoy doing. And everything else I think will fall into place. Like, that's why I think I'm such a good networker, which, if you don't know me, I'm a very good networker. I think that's how I've made a majority of my money, is through my connections and through building relationships with people. But I don't care about it being my own brand, my own thing. And that's allowed me to align with other A players in a way that I think a lot of other people who are A players can't, because you tend to have your own vision and want to own the whole thing and take credit for the whole thing. And I don't have any more bones of that left in my body. I just want to contribute, but then also have freedom at the same time. And being able to be good at sales and bring in a lot of the business is what's given me that. So number 4 consideration is you got to consider whatever it is that you think you're going to be passionate about. What you really need to get skilled at is sales, even more than marketing, because I think that if you understand your customer deeply, or you just have a really good thing, the marketing becomes a lot easier, but the sales is where you are really going to have to get good. But it's going to be so transformative for you. But I know that so many people don't like sales. I've always wanted to be good at sales ever since I was like 20-ish. I wanted to be really good at sales. So this seemed like a natural thing that I was like, hey, I really want to do this. But I know so many people do not. Like, I've done the cold calling, I've done the emailing, the reaching out. Something that helped me a lot to get responses and to feel more comfortable doing it was I started a podcast. I have a video about that somewhere on my channel. I know my channel is like a mess with videos, but if you search in like Laura Mai Marketing, how to start a podcast, I made $44,000 off my podcast and just made a lot of really good relationships. I probably spent $400 on it total. I did it all at home. It was so shitty. I was like, do I want to be someone who swears on YouTube? But I swear in real life. So it was so shitty. It was so bad. Except I really took the time to get to know people. So like the video quality was bad, but I think the quality of the conversations and building the relationships was really good. So if you have something where it's like the whole point is you listening to other people and wanting to promote them and their stories, that's something that I found is really good in terms of building relationships. And then I found that from my relationships and being giving, naturally people have just given back to me. And not everyone, and I've gotten some bad apples I've gotten taken advantage of, so I've had to learn my lines there. But being giving has really paid off way better than if I was not that person and I was just selfish. So last one, number 5 is, what is that final life that you want to live for yourself? And this is kind of more of a pro working for yourself argument. I feel like the other ones I kind of was trying to get you to pause and slow down. But for me, I really just picture myself having kids and being able to take them to their doctor's appointment without worrying, and being able to be at home with them and play with them and cuddle with them, and potentially even homeschool them. I probably will end up sending them to some sort of school, but being able to teach them things and just being able to be there and be nurturing and be in the home. And I think that my job allows me to do that, and it allows me to do that while making quite a bit of money, because I feel like I've learned how to become very skilled and very efficient within a shorter span of time. And I did the real groundwork to build up the ability to do that, to build up the leverage to be able to have my network work for me, have my skills work for me, hire other people to buy back time. That's where a lot of the actual sales that I go to is like hiring other people to help fill in those gaps. I've always been really generous when I got a contract in. But I get to spend so much time with my little dog, who I showed you at the beginning of this video. I'm at the point where I'm not so stressed now. I feel like a lot more relaxed, but really consider if you're thinking about quitting your job. The first 2 years, really rough for me. If you don't have enough to support yourself now and you don't have a safety net like I did, don't quit your job. If you can't sleep at your parents' house, if you aren't willing to look stupid, if you're not ready, don't quit your job. Wait until you've replaced a third of your income. I've heard that's the good rule for it. And I could definitely see that. Just make sure that you have enough to live on before you quit your job. Because I low-key wish that I did that a little bit, but I wouldn't change how things went either. But yeah, that's some questions that I think you should think about. Subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next time.